Alert Meteorologist Courteney Jacobazzi. We are going to talk about a first alert weather day for your Friday. If you have any Friday afternoon or evening plans, I know there's a lot going on across Metro Atlanta this weekend that really kicks off today. You're going to want to know if the weather is going to impact that, right? So I'm going to take you through everything you need to know to get you ready for what is to come later today. Now, the good news is our first alert weather day today, very low impact on you. Not going to be looking at as widespread a coverage of storms as we saw yesterday, but a few storms definitely possible just in time for your afternoon and evening commute, and that could linger around sunset for any of your later evening plans tonight. So not only are we looking at the chance for storms, but because of how much moisture is in the air, a lot of these storms are going to have extremely heavy downpours. So that could lead to some flooding in the roadways, something we've had the last couple of days. We very well could see more of that later tonight as these storms continue to move on through. High temperatures today, very similar to yesterday, near 90 across the area. We'll see partly cloudy skies through the day. So overall, it'll be a nice afternoon until the storms start to roll in. So let's time all that out for you here with First Alert Futurecast. Had a couple of showers this morning. We're going to be mainly dry between now and noon, but then after about 2 o'clock, that's when we'll start to watch for more showers and storms to start to bubble up. So here's a look at 3 p.m., few storms on the map, and then between about 4 and 6 p.m., which is obviously your evening commute, maybe you're headed to happy hour tonight on a Friday, notice that storms are starting to bubble up really right in the heart of Metro, right in the heart of downtown. Definitely a possibility to see some storms in the heart of Atlanta between 4 and 6 p.m. And notice, you see that bright red color there. That is the really heavy rain that's definitely going to be likely in these storms later today. When it comes to severe weather, doesn't look like we're going to experience any severe weather, but these storms naturally will carry some gustier wind, some frequent lightning, and again, that heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flooding in the roadways. By 9, 10 o'clock, we're starting to dry out. So that's the good news. If you have any evening plans tonight, by 8, 9 o'clock, we're mostly dry. It's going to be more so the earlier evening that we're concerned about rain getting in the way of your plans. Speaking of course, we have the Beyonce concert in town tonight, and the doors open, I believe, around 5:30. So if you are heading there around 5:30, as soon as the gates and the doors open there over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you're probably going to want to bring the raincoat with you, maybe a poncho that you can like toss in the trash when you walk inside, because we know you don't want to be carrying around a raincoat or an umbrella all night. I get it. But you'll probably want that with you, at least going to the concert. By the time you're leaving, though, notice that rain chance by 9 o'clock at 20%, and by 11, by the time most of you will be making your way out of the Benz later today, after what I'm sure is going to be a fantastic concert, should be mostly dry. Now, storm risks with any of the storms today. Wind will be an issue, gusty wind, not necessarily looking at severe level winds, which are 60 miles per hour. Damaging wind and flooding and ponding, those are low-level threats for us. Lightning will be pretty likely in any of the storms that develop today, so that'll be our biggest concern. You don't want to be outside when storms are rolling on through, because lightning can be extremely dangerous. In fact, lightning can be 5 times hotter than the sun. There's your fact for the day today, so that's why you don't want to mess around with lightning. Weekend forecast looking a little better. Now, Saturday, the stormier day of the two, definitely not a washout. It is, quite honestly, your typical summer-like day. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid, while those afternoon storms bubble up through the day. So near 90 for the morning, near 90 for the afternoon, hot. And then again, a few afternoon and evening thunderstorms. That storm coverage at about 40%. So you will more than likely have to dodge a storm or two tomorrow afternoon. Might briefly interrupt your plans, but not going to be a washout if you have anything going on tomorrow. And then Sunday, mostly dry and hot. An isolated storm at best. Rain coverage on Sunday at about 20%. So again, Sunday, the better day to get out. We're going to have this high pressure develop that's really going to build in. That's going to bring in some drier air. That's really going to heat us up as well, especially going into the start of next week. Look at high temperatures Monday and Tuesday. We're in the mid-90s. So that'll start to kind of take hold on Sunday, drying us out more than Saturday, essentially. Here's a look at that First Alert 7-day forecast. So today, 50% coverage of showers and storms. That'll mainly be between about 3 and 8 p.m., and that very well could impact your evening commute right in the heart of downtown later today with some heavy rain. We're more worried about flooding in the roadways from the heavy rainfall rates more than we are severe weather today. Saturday, about a 30% coverage of showers and storms, just spotty afternoon thunderstorms. So if you have any plans to get outside tomorrow, which I'm sure a lot of you do, just know that an isolated shower storm will be possible mainly between the hours of like 2 and 7 p.m. tomorrow. It does look like maybe a rogue storm could continue after sunset, but for the most part, we're looking prime heating of the day for most of our thunderstorm activity. And then Sunday, mostly dry again. Very strong ridge of high pressure starts to develop. That's going to kind of cut off our water supply. We're going to have mostly dry conditions Sunday, Monday, but that means the heat's going to turn up. Mid-90s Monday and Tuesday. Some models even hinting at upper 90s. It is not out of the realm of possibility next week. And then Wednesday and Thursday, those rain chances start to go up. You'll notice that rain coverage at 50% next Thursday. Now, that's very, very penciled in, okay? We're going to be watching potentially a low that's going to try to develop along the coast. More than likely, the National Hurricane Center will be keeping an eye on it. And to be quite honest with you, the Climate Prediction Center, which usually gives us our outlooks for temperature and rainfall, 6 to 10 days, 8 to 14 days, they also can give you tropical outlooks, and there has been an area of interest along the Gulf with about a 20% chance of development going into next week, and we are seeing some signs of maybe some tropical development next week. It doesn't look like either way. Models have been very consistent that it's not going to have a huge impact on our forecast other than maybe some wraparound showers. Very similar to when Chantal developed the other week, and that kind of swirled off the coast. We had a few wraparound showers from that as it was starting to get its act together. That's kind of what we're looking at right now next week, so we'll be keeping an eye on it. Definitely not a sure bet that it is going to develop. Some models have our area of high pressure kind of taking over so strongly that pushes any kind of tropical development out of our way and kind of makes that non-existent, and then we just continue to heat up. But there is the possibility, and that's why we're giving you that kind of heads up next week, 50% coverage of showers on Thursday, just to kind of give you an idea that we are watching for the potential of maybe some higher rain chances as a low tries to develop off the coast. So just a day that we're watching. When we get more detail on it and we get more consensus in the models on what exactly is going to happen next week, maybe we'll give that a first alert weather day. All just depends on what happens. It's just too early to tell what's going to happen just yet. So more than likely, the models are going to show us 10 different things between now and next Thursday. So something that we're just keeping an eye on. All right, so for today, again, if you have any evening plans, just make sure that you are, giving yourself some extra time on the roadways. These storms will definitely be some heavy rain producers, so you want to give yourself some extra time. If you're heading to Cowboy Carter tonight, just know that you will, again, want to just give yourself a few extra minutes on the roadways because you know how Atlanta acts when it starts raining outside on the roadways, okay? So very well could impact you heading to the concert, but leaving the concert later tonight, you should be in good shape. MLB All-Star Weekend happening this weekend. Lots going on at Truist Park. One of the events starts tonight. That should look good, too. And then, of course, you have all the events going on at Cobb Galleria. What do they call it? The All-Star Village. Really fun stuff going on there. Anyone has access to it. I believe you have to pay like $35 for a ticket. But that's an indoor activity, so you won't have to worry about any of the rain on Saturday if it does develop in the afternoon over Truist Park. But lots of fun going on in Metro Atlanta this weekend. I hope you can get out and enjoy it for sure. Just be weather aware, especially this evening. All right, everyone, I appreciate you spending some time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. Be sure to check in on atlantanewsfirst.com for all the stories and headlines that are making news today. You can stay caught up there. First Alert Meteorologist Ella Dorsey also did a really awesome piece. I'm sure she's going to talk more about that at 11, but so make sure you tune in to First Alert Weather Plus today because I'm pretty sure that's what she's going to be discussing. But it is on our website. She did a great piece on the National Weather Service and the cuts that have happened to the National Weather Service and how that could be not only potentially impacting our office here in Atlanta and Peachtree City, but also around the country. She talked to a couple of the meteorologists and got their opinion on exactly what's happening and how they feel things have been being impacted and just kind of the state of NOAA as a whole right now. So really good story. She worked long and hard on it. But again, that's just a brief synopsis. That is the front cover of the book, kind of giving you what the details of what's going to happen. She will go into more detail and bring you that story. But if you're interested in watching that, if you can't tune in at 11, make sure to go to atlantanewsfirst.com. You can find that story there as well. Really good stuff. All right. Hope you make it a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe and enjoy it. And we'll catch you here next time.
30 a.m. on ANF Plus. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.